What if the earliest signs of dementia are happening right in front of you and many families completely miss them? A patient's son once told me about a moment in a grocery store that he can never forget. His mother had gone to the same store for almost 20 years. She knew every aisle, every shortcut, and every cashier by name. One afternoon, she called him from the parking lot. Her voice sounded shaky. She said, "I can't find my car." At first, he thought it was normal. Parking lots are big. It happens to everyone. But when he got there, he realized something was different. She wasn't just looking for the car. She stood there overwhelmed, lost, surrounded by a place she had known for decades. Looking back, that moment was not just a confusion. It was one of the first signs of dementia. And like many families, he didn't recognize it at the time. The truth is, dementia rarely begins with dramatic symptoms. Instead, it often starts with small, everyday changes that are easy to explain away as stress, aging, or distraction. My name is Slava Kreynovich. I'm a nurse practitioner with over 20 years of experience and a daughter actively caring for an aging parent with cancer. On this channel, I translate complex medical and life systems into clear steps so adult children of aging parents, just like me, can prepare before a crisis hits, communicate confidently with doctors and healthcare teams, organize finances, daily care, and support their parents without losing themselves. In this video, we'll walk through 7 early signs of dementia families frequently overlook and why recognizing them early can make a huge difference. One of the earliest signs of short-term memory decline is repeating the same questions within a single conversation. For example, what day is it? And a few minutes later, what day is it again? You might also notice them telling the same story multiple times again in a short period without realizing they already said it. This isn't distraction. Repeating the same questions or even the same stories can be a sign that the brain is struggling to store new information. Early dementia can affect judgment and decision-making. Someone who was always financially careful may suddenly fall for scams, make unusual purchases, give away money, make unsafe decisions. Family members often dismiss it as a simple mistake, but it can reflect early brain changes. Another early sign is spatial disorientation. A person might suddenly struggle navigating places they've known for years, like a grocery store, a neighbor's house, or even parts of their own home. This confusion can sometimes appear before major problems become obvious. Another common early change is trouble with tasks that used to feel automatic. For example, following a recipe they've made for years, managing bills or medications, completing steps of a task in the correct order. One caregiver shares that her mother, who had baked the same cake for decades, suddenly couldn't remember the next step halfway through the recipe. These changes often reflect problems with executive function, the brain's planning and organizing system. Another common sign is difficulty following conversations. They may lose track of what was just said, struggle to find the right words, respond with something that doesn't quite match the discussion, frequently say "what?" not because they cannot hear, but because they need more time to process the information. Everyone loses things sometimes, but with early dementia, objects may appear in very unusual places, like keys in the refrigerator or milk in the pantry. Sometimes this is followed by a suspicion or accusation that someone moved or stole the item, when in reality the person misplaced it themselves. Family often notice sudden lifestyle changes. Someone who once loved gardening, cooking, photography, or other hobbies may gradually stop doing them. You also might notice losing interest in activities they once loved, avoiding social interactions, sticking to the same routine and avoiding new places, Decline in personal hygiene or self-care. These changes can happen because the person feels confused, overwhelmed, or embarrassed by cognitive difficulties. And here is something important to remember. Most families do not recognize these signs right away. They assume the person is stressed, distracted, or simply getting older, and that's completely normal. These early symptoms are often subtle and easy to miss. So what should you do? If you begin noticing two or more of these changes, start paying closer attention. One helpful step is to keep a simple journal with dates and examples of what you observed that was strange. This information can be very useful when speaking with a healthcare professional. And it's important to know that not all memory problems are dementia. Conditions like vitamin B12 deficiency, thyroid problems, hearing loss, depression, adult onset of ADD, and medication side effects can sometimes mimic dementia symptoms. That's why early evaluation is so important. Click on the link here where I provide more detailed information about different types of evaluation before looking into the dementia diagnosis. And just to summarize, early dementia rarely starts with dramatic symptoms. Instead, it usually starts with small moments that seems easy to dismiss at the time. Repeated questions, a missed turn while driving, a hobby that slowly disappears. Many families realize it only later than those small moments were actually the first signs. And if you're learning about these warning signs now, you are already taking an important step in helping the people you love. If you're watching this because you're worried about someone you love, you're not alone. Many caregivers go through the same experience of looking back and thinking, I wish I had recognized it sooner. I'm curious about your experience. What was the first small change you noticed in your parent or loved one that made you pause and think that something might be wrong? And if you're comfortable sharing, leave it in the comments. Your story might help someone else who's going through the same situation right now. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button. Consider sharing it with someone who might need it as well. And if you want more practical guidance on aging, caregiving, and protecting your loved one's independence, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.